Speaking of clarifications, Senator Stephen Baldwin is on the line, and either I've got it wrong or Senator Carmichael had it wrong when we were talking about the class size. Stephen, welcome in. Hope you're having a good morning.
Good morning, sir. I appreciate you taking the time.
I absolutely appreciate you calling in. Please set me straight. What do we have wrong here?
Class size is unchanged in the current bill.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I confess I have not been listening this morning. I've actually been working to get ready for the session tonight, but I started getting calls saying, is the class size changed in this bill? The Senate President's on saying the class size is being lowered, and that is incorrect.
Okay, so it's always been 25 kids or less up through the sixth grade.
Correct, and there's a cap. That's the cap. It's not a hard cap, though. It can go up to 28 if you receive a waiver. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know if he hasn't read the bill. I don't know if he's.
Well, let me jump in. I'm the one that brought that out. I don't want to throw him under the bus for something I said. It was my understanding that it used to be that cap existed up through the second grade, and the grade level was being extended to the sixth grade. But if that's not correct, I appreciate the correction.
Yeah, no, that's not correct. It's unchanged. Actually, in the last version of the Senate version, Omnibus 2.0, they increased class size in those particular grade levels that you are talking about.
Okay.
I read it, I caught it, I asked about it, and they said, oh, yeah, you're right, that's a mistake. Well, now that provision is no longer in there anymore, so I don't know if somebody saw that at some point and thinks the class size is being lowered, but that's not right. What actually happened is in the last version they tried to increase it, said no, I guess that was just a mistake, so they took it out, and now apparently they're saying it's being lowered. Well, it's not being lowered. It's exactly the same as it was before.
Okay, well, again, I want to own that because that's more me than anybody. I brought that up as something I read this morning, so that's my bad. And I own that. I don't want to put my misgivings and mistakes on anyone else. But while I have you on the line, and Mr. McElhaney is sitting here with me as well, will Democrats vote to suspend rules today? There's been some talk that there may be amendments to this bill. Give us your thoughts. What do you know?
Well, I'm one amongst the caucus. We're supposed to caucus this afternoon before the floor session. I'd say we'll have a good sense by that point. What I've been working on are amendments, so I guess we'll find out soon.
So you have been working on amendments personally?
Yes, sir.
What do you plan to amend?
Well, there are some particular issues that I think merit consideration. For example, we've been talking about local control. I hear over and over that local control is an important issue that this bill addresses, and yet local school improvement councils were not part of the last version. They are part of this version, but they're given less consideration than they are right now. If you read the bill, they actually don't have to have a meeting with the Board of Education each year. And as a former board member, I will tell you that the local school improvement council meetings with boards are extremely important each and every year. So I'm going to try and amend some real teeth into the local school improvement councils. That's one particular area.
Anything else?
Yes, sir. I mean, if you think about charter schools, I've heard the argument over and over and over that our system is failing and our students are low performing. Therefore, we need charter schools. And on the Senate floor last time, I presented data about how charter schools do not have a real impact on student achievement. But if that's the argument, if that's what we're saying, then I want these charters that are part of this bill to be in low-performing areas. If the whole intent is to improve student achievement, then let's tie the charters to areas where student achievement needs to be improved. That's the way it was in the last House version of the bill that came over and was rejected by the Senate in February, and I think it ought to be in there.
You think you have the votes on that amendment? Have you whipped that around?
I think you've seen what the votes have been for months now, and I doubt that those votes are going to change. But I think it is incumbent upon us to do our best to try and make it the best bill possible, and that's what I'm doing.